hi, as I promised you before the break, we're now at Sunningdale School in Moose Jaw, which is an elementary school in the northwest part of the city. And we're talking about a very special project that has come their way called Sunningdale, the Grizzlies, remember. And it's Eric Campbell is the teacher responsible for organizing out the school here. And we're going to also talk to David Gray about his involvement with it. So, Eric, tell us a bit about the project.
Operation Grizzlies Remember was an idea we came up with last year, and we actually applied for a grant from the federal government. And what we were able to do with that grant is bring a little identity to the war from the past. So what I'm saying is World War I and World War II were such a big part of our history, and as an educator we wanted to show that piece of Canadian history to our students in a way that they would gain some clarity and maybe some understanding of the sacrifice those men and women made for us.
Yeah. Now, David, you're in grade 8 here,
yes.
And David Gray is a student I've known for quite a long time,
yep.
Actually since you were born.
Yep.
And David, what's it like for you to be involved with this project? Well, when you got told you were doing it, what did you think?
Oh, I thought it was pretty awesome. It's way much better than like pen and pencil work.
Yeah?
Actually getting out to go and do the things that he's talking about.
What are some of the things you've done so far?
Well, we've gone out to the base and learned about how the Army recruitments, and we've also gone to the armory and learned about where the people came in to see and sign up for war.
And you saw some of the equipment that they got to use?
Yeah.
Did you like that?
Yeah, that was pretty cool, the G-Wagon and some of the stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, good. Now, Eric, you've got a real good support group in the school here involved with this, don't you?
Yeah, we have a pretty amazing staff. One of the great things about our school that we've noticed, especially with this project, is the way we've come together and everybody's taken a piece of it and made it their own. A lot of the teachers here have taken this opportunity to really put in something a little bit different into their plan, and they built up this idea to the best way that they could, and to promote it to their grade, to their curriculum, and to how they could use it. One of the coolest things about it is it has a different perspective. You know, each teacher offers a different piece to this puzzle and offers a different perspective on how this could be taught. And that's what makes it so interesting, is it's not just about what I'm doing, it's about what our whole staff is doing. And then it trickles down to how it affects each student that takes a part of it. And I think it's really amazing when you think of it like that, how great that is when you have so many people working together for one common goal.
Yeah, that's right. And you and Scott Mitchell are kind of like, I think you're tend to lead people. How did you come about to discover this?
It was, I don't know. In fact, my sister came to me one day and was like, I found this grant online, and I think it'd be great for a school, especially in our community. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, I love history, and I think it's just so great that kids would be able to see something like this, and I took hold of it immediately. And then just from there, we applied for the grant, and then when we received it, it was a bit of a shock. It was great to be a part of something like that, and then we realized all the work we had to do to make it everything we wanted to make. And I think our kids are really benefiting from that initial hard work.
Yeah. David, what kind of assignments have you had to do? What kind of things have you had to do as a student involved with this project that aren't normally what you would do, besides going to the airbase and toting sandbags around and people?
Well,
you did, like your classmates are sitting around at our feet. They can't be seen right now, but they're writing notes on us, aren't they?
yes, they are.
And what else have you had to do? Like, what do you have to write reports? Do you have to do research online? Or?
Yeah, we're going to probably do some research online about World War I and World War II, and about that guy that won the Victoria Cross. And there's been some stuff that we've done on the board. Yeah.
Okay, so those are things. And what have you found for you? Is it that you like especially about doing this?
Well, I love the topics of old war and stuff like that. I have so many games at home about it. So this is a really good privilege for me, because most kids at other schools don't get this privilege. So it's going to be really awesome and fun.
Do you have relatives who were involved with the war way back?
Yes, I do. I have a grandpa. He's still alive. I don't know where he's at, though. He fixed World War II airplanes.
Okay. So that's kind of an interesting way for you to check into him, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Pretty cool. You can go and talk to him, but he doesn't remember much, and yeah.
And how about you? Have you got some family connections with this as well?
I did. My late grandfather was in World War II, and he actually was, he stormed Juno Beach. Like, he was there, and it's before he passed on, he told me some amazing stories about some amazing men and women, and you know, that kind of stuff stuck with me when I was a young guy. I was 12 or 13. He was telling me this stuff, and I think it really fostered my love for history and just how much that type of commitment to a cause can really affect a whole nation. And it's a great thing to be connected to it in that way, and that's something I'll remember about him forever.
Yeah. And of course, the Campbells they're fighters from way back anyway in Scotland.
Good Scottish folk, yeah.
So you've got people involved. You've got really good support from the school administration. Your principal and vice principal are very much interactive with you guys, and the school board itself has stepped in too.
Yeah, it's really kind of overwhelming sometimes when you think about it, how much support I was given here. You know, you have your administrative team that's here and helping me out along the way.
You mentioned their name.
Okay, Steve Mitchell and Dana Scorpat they've been great. They've bounced ideas off them, helped me build some ideas that are more than just pipe dreams, but more the actual possible things that we can do as a group. Some of the other, I mean, you talk about board members, I had Lou Young come in and shake my hand, say, you know, thank you for what a great idea this is for our students. And, you know, it's just, that's a new experience, you know, having these people come in and say, you know what, you're doing a great job. And it feels good, and it feels nice to be able to do that and know that the kids are appreciating it too. And that's, you know, it's the total picture, really.
And it's a 6-month project, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going on until March. We got, this is the last month in November here for this half, and then we start up again in the new year for 3 more months of, you know, the different topics, but, you know, good topics nonetheless.
Yeah, for sure. But David, you mentioned, you said to other schools, you kind of think it's a privilege and an honor for you to be involved, and they might be a little jealous. Have you talked to any of your friends at other schools about this?
Oh yeah, like my cousin at Glendale, he's really jealous. He's like, oh, I have to learn about all this other stuff, and you guys get to learn about the topic that I actually really like. And see, yeah, it's a privilege for me and everybody around here.
And so we're standing in front of this wall, and your school has done a really nice job of doing Remembrance Day things. What else you got planned for Remembrance Day?
Well, we have Keenan and some other people doing MC work, and we're gonna like run the Remembrance Day service there. And yeah, I think that's a big part of this topic as well.
Okay. Now, this month you mentioned projects. What's happening this month for these people? November project.
The November project is a big one. We've decided to split our idea of identity and war culture for our Canadians into 4 different stations that we believe reflect what Canadians do in combat and humanitarian situations. Those 4 stations were going to take place at the Prairie Storm Paintball Place. And the idea behind all this is we would be able to sample and educate the students in these small sections of what the Canadians did. So, for example,
we're not talking paintball. We're talking activities. Not
no, we're talking about activities. Yeah. It's just using the venue to give a little understanding of the topography of how these war situations would happen. For example, filling up sandbags for humanitarian aid is not an easy job, and we're going to experience that, and we're going to go out there and we're going to work on how that's done. We're going to experience a little bit about orienteering. How are we going to find a supply drop that maybe went awry? What are we going to do? How are we going to solve that together as a group, as a platoon? What are we going to do to make this work for us? And you know, there's 2 more ones as well, and they're both designed to let the kids think through problems and then understand the difficulty the men and women would have had at the time. And that's what it's all about. It's about making these topics a reality and making them connect and having kids really buy into how important and how special these men and women were.
Yeah, and of course, being a Canadian, it's important for us to learn what it's like to be a Canadian. So what have you learned about being a Canadian so far, David, and what do you hope to learn more about?
I hope to learn more about how, like, why we got freedom and all those other countries didn't. I think it's a real privilege to be Canadian because we have the freedom to do whatever we like, jolly well please. In other countries, they don't have that privilege, so we should take advantage of it while we have it here instead of just leaving it to not do it.
Yeah. I think that kind of sums up very well
He's very
the project. And we want the kids to learn what it's like to be a Canadian and why it's important. And of course, Sunningdale has a large population of first-generation Canadians too.
Well, we have a large population of first-generation Canadians, and we have a large population of people from 15 Wing. And you know, when you have that kind of special population, this is something that people can buy into. They see it as a, I don't know, maybe as a piece to education that they can get more out of, because it's connected to them, you know, more than just at the school. It's at home and it's in their personal life. This first-generation Canadians will be able to see a little bit about how we get the identity that we have. And I think if we talk about it and then we also experience it, that'll send that message even stronger.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, I'm happy that you guys are willing to share it, and the notes are being made all over the place here by your students who are evaluating how well you talk. And
They're doing good.
yeah, and of course, this is part of their learning process, and for us to bring it to you, and also have them be shared with the community, and they can learn. Oh, that's a special thing in our community. Is I want to congratulate you for taking the initiative to do this, and thanks to Jocelyn for pushing your button to.
Oh, yeah.
She's a great finder of grants.
Oh, she's a great sister. Yeah, I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, and David, thank you for taking some time and being the spokesperson for your class. Did you like that?
Yes, it was fun.
Yeah, you like being in front of the TV camera?
Yeah, it's kind of nervous.
You're nervous. Well, maybe that's because your parents are in front of not being afraid of being in front of audiences either, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up here. Thanks to you guys for being here. Thanks to the audience for watching, and we'll see you again soon on Moose Jaw this week.